I have an impossible skill check doctor that I often don't kill anybody with because I have so much fun watching them run around screaming, I just let everybody go after around 30 minutes. Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. I'm feeling very professional this time. You know, I got my trusty laptop, my rose toy, my microphone, you know, my trusty blanket, but then I also got like a table. You know, we're stepping up our game. We're not recording on the floor this time. But yeah, I kind of don't want to judge you guys this time because, you know, we're like a community, we're like this, we're locked in. So I thought, what better way to do this video than judge random internet people on Reddit? So Core is now in session because I, Judge Devin, am going to be reading some Dead by Daylight Am I the A-Hole confessions. AITA for going in the locker every time a survivor is hooked. I, console player, decided that it would be a good idea to jump into locker every time a survivor got hooked, when the killer brings friends till the end, only when I'm obsession. I feel like already we know that you're not the a-hole. Like, if you're watching this video, I would assume that you guys are pretty well versed in the DBD world.
My face until you nut in my mouth.
I don't know, I just have a feeling that like if you're new to DBD, you wouldn't be watching me. You'd be watching like the content creators that tell you like the funny or meta builds. Like, I don't know, that's just kind of like the feeling, the vibe that I get, okay? But yeah, if you're trying to block or reading from friends till the end, I feel like it's just very obvious that lockers are the best way, unless if you're running distortion, but we all apparently hate distortion now. I've never had an issue with this until a recent match with a very strange solo queue teammate that would flashlight click me when I was hooked. Say I was the obsession and I was repairing a generator with this guy, and our third teammate gets downed. And in the hooking process, I decide to go hop in a locker because to my knowledge, your aura can't be read in a locker, and friends till the end reveals you. Well, this guy starts to point at me and starts signaling to the killer that I'm in the locker. By the way, I only stay in the locker for like a good 5 seconds, and he gets both of us killed. Is it wrong to do that though? Well, I think we all know the answer here. You are not the a-hole. I feel like a good portion of the DBD player base doesn't exactly get the inner workings of DBD. You know, like even with like flashbangs or inner strength or build to last, they don't get that. And they'll like rat anytime they see a solo queue teammate just like throwing the game, quote unquote, right? I also think there's this like very like heavy stigma around stealth playstyles. For example, we have distortion, we have, I would say self-care even, right? We have urban evasion. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're constantly hiding, fine. But there's something about those petty teammates that kind of just give me the irk. Like, just play your own damn game, I'll play my damn game, and then we'll go on next. Like GGHFGLNM. Are we the assholes? I've been playing a little over a month and I love being the killer. It's all I've played since I picked up the game. I've started with Wraith and quickly mastered the hit and run playstyle. Oh my god. What do you love about that? I'm sorry, I'm very curious about, like, if you're watching this and you play hit and run playstyles, what satisfaction do you derive from that? I have an impossible skill check doctor. Oh my god. That I often don't kill anybody with because I have so much fun watching them run around screaming, I just let everybody go after around 30 minutes. Nah, if I was playing that game, I'd DC. I'm sorry, I am not playing a match for 30 minutes. I have a condemned build on Rio that my quickest 4K was 6 minutes and I didn't hook a single survivor. I feel like people don't know how to play against Onryo anymore. Like, every time I play against an Onryo, they let their condemned go up and I'm like, what are we doing? I love slugging people out with a nemesis at night.
You are going to jail! Period!
My pig gives everybody party hats right before the 5th generator, and then I let them finish and open the gate for them so I can watch their heads pop on the way out. Well, as we know, it's 2v8 and I wanted to do the tome, so for the past 2 days, I've been playing Survivor. And now I know how all those Dwights and Steves and Fung Mins felt, and I realize I'm kinda a dick. Some of us are kinda toxic, but Lord, is it oh so fun. So I feel like you kind of answered your question already. You are the a-hole. I definitely do appreciate that they're not being intentionally toxic. They're not humping, they're not tunneling, but I mean, they are slugging and everything. Like they're running those meme builds that you see on those TikToks where you search up like funnest DBD builds or something, right? And then those pop up. Your joy is being derived from these silly, goofy playstyles. And though it may be unfun for a survivor, and I say this as a survivor main, like typically I'm like a 70-30 survivor killer split, mostly just because killer queues are absolutely horrendous. But I feel like as survivor, you are definitely more susceptible to having less fun than the killer. I don't know, something just like, maybe it's my survivor bias, but I feel like as a survivor main, you often get worse games because you're kind of like always playing a 4v1 where like your 3 survivors are kind of buns and then the killer has a chance to be, you know, a boring, no personality killer, which is fine. You guys play your game. But as a killer, oftentimes you will have a higher chance to go against 4 uncoordinated solo queue teammates rather than a bully squad, right? Which I don't know what the point of that whole spiel was, but you're not being the a-hole, you're just kind of, you know, having fun with your game. And yeah, besides slugging with your Nemesis and Knight, don't play Nemesis. No, Nemesis is fine. Don't play Knight and Slug because best believe I will be DCing. Not really, but mentally, I'm not in that game anymore. So this next one I came across while I was doing my day-to-day Reddit doom scrolling like routine. I know, I'm a Reddit fiend. This is so bad. Anyway, so I saw the title and I was like, I feel like this is gonna work. So let's just read it. No idea what I ran into. Also, am I sensitive or what? Hey guys, it's me and I've got some good news, but also another question. I found killers I love to play ever since I made my last post on the subreddit. Now, onto the question. I just ran into 4 survivors who kept flashlighting me whenever I picked someone up. It was usually 2 of them. Kept body blocking me and teabagging. They all had flashlights, they clicked the flashlights, pallets stunned me as well, and they would all flashlight me. 3 others drove me crazy, while another one worked on gens. I don't know what this behavior is called or what I ran into exactly. With how they behaved, I just felt like they were toying and bullying me. I feel upset and somewhat humiliated over this. Can somebody tell me what I ran into? Also, am I sensitive for being upset? I'm a new killer with now 26.3 hours of playtime. I feel so bad for this person. Clearly you are not the a-hole, and clearly the other group of like the survivors, they are the a-hole. These are like the bully squads that I always get for some reason in my games. I definitely feel like there's 2 kinds of bully squads. One that they're just trying to have fun, and you can definitely tell the difference between the bully squads that are trying to have fun and the bully squads that like bully. Like they're like the bully squads and then the 4 stacks, right? Like the 4 stacks, they'll be running like flashlights and like head on or whatever, but they won't actively try to make the killers day hell. You know, they loop, they do gens, and then when they have the opportunity to, they will try to go for a save, because that's like there's a reason why it's in the game, right? It's a mechanic that those with a higher skill ceiling can utilize. And then those are the people that actively flashlight, head on. I feel like we as a Dead by Daylight community has a very large player base of sadists, and some people just like to take that a bit too far and make other people's days hell. So you are not the a-hole. I hope you do enjoy this game. Definitely do not play it too much. Like, I am saying this as someone who hyperfixates so badly. Currently, my hyperfixation is Hades and Marvel Rivals. You wanna hug me? What rhymes with hug me? And I'm slowly getting back into Dead by Daylight again. It's been a while, but during my Dead by Daylight hyperfixation phase, I played Dead by Daylight nonstop and I got a bit burnt out. So if you're new, just, you know, don't play it too much, because this game is definitely one that is susceptible to burnout super easily. So just stay safe, have fun with the game, you know, have fun with Felix Richter, and we're going to the next one. Am I the asshole here? Just got out of a match where my teammates was purposefully not doing the gates while I was running the killer for ages on the other side of the map safely away from him. Once I reached them, 30 seconds after I saw the first gate opening icon on my teammate, more than enough time, I saw that he left the gate at 2 lights only for the points, I assume. What points? What? And purposely left them on 70%, meaning I couldn't possibly try to open them, after which he messed around the map waiting for the killer to finally down me and also give himself to the killer for free.
What?
My teammate already admitted in chat it was to help the killer out with the Adept challenge once he figured out the killer's perks. And once I confronted him about it, both the killer and my teammate jumped on me saying, "It's just a game, just have fun, who cares? And some condescending stuff about me wanting to win too much or something. He obviously saw me as this evil survivor not being able to sympathize with how hard adepts are, and himself as a good Samaritan, even though he killed his teammate who didn't agree with his plan of giving up the game. I don't get the double standards though. You can be a hero for the killer, but not for your teammates who could have also attempted the adept challenge or some other challenges, and once you get called out for it, you start being condescending to the guy who wanted to escape for trying too hard, it's just the game. AITA. Should I really just not care if my teammates sandbag me and ruin my fun? I get telling people to chill and it's just a game if the killer tunnels or camps or survivors bring the strongest maps and items. But I feel that the just have fun, stop caring argument falls apart when you're breaking the actual rules of the game itself. Okay, I definitely agree with the double standards thing. Why can the killer have fun but not the other survivor? You know? And here's the thing, my thought process, okay, I haven't really gone for adepts yet, with anyone, just because I do want to get back into streaming and I want to do my adepts on stream, just because I feel it'll be more fun. But my thought process is that adepts are an achievement. They're meant to be worked for. And if there is a survivor helping me get the adept, I'm not gonna actively want the adept anymore, you know? And this might be just my survivor main coming out, but if I'm playing killer and I see another survivor actively trying to kill another survivor, I am letting the other survivor out. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I don't think you're the a-hole. I think the other teammate is the a-hole, just because what if that killer didn't want, you know, you to help them? What, I guess in this case, they did, because those two people were like, it's just a game. So yeah, you're not the a-hole, and I feel like the other survivor in this situation is the a-hole. Oh my god, this is long. Am I the a-hole for camping hooks often? Yes. I don't want to be a complete jerk when playing, but sometimes, often with certain killers, camping hooks is a really effective strategy. It is especially effective on the second hook state, where if I can keep survivors off, I either get someone out of the game or hook exchange with another person. Thing is, if it's in a swift team, usually everyone comes out and I get a free hit on everyone. Or if it's not a swift, only one person comes to save while the rest just walk around not daring to get hit. In some cases, people actually do get gens done while I'm camping, and I applaud that. However, I often find myself making my wins much easier if I can camp/tunnel one person out ASAP. In between writing this, I played another game of killer. Picking up downed people is just so dangerous as a killer. Survivors will drop pallets, sabotage hooks, slash at you, flashbang you. In my first game before writing this, I totally wrecked the survivors. In my next game, it seemed like a swift was about to stomp all over me and teabag doors. First gen done before first hook, no problem. I down someone quickly, but boom, flashlight. Then I get another person down, but oh shit, it's another pallet, boom, escape. In the end, I tunneled the first two people out, nearly completely ignoring the others. I later won with a 4K. I camped the two hooks by each other and managed to get them both killed. Like, I've played games before where I consciously decide to run away from hook with zero camping, and it can be fun, but without at least a bit of camping, it can be a serious grind. Full senses, usually every ability I got, etc. Plus, many gen regression perks recently got nerfed, and they weren't super effective anyways, so there's not much reward for going for scourge hooks or splitting hooks. Dare I say there's not much reward for getting hooks, period. I've done a few games where my challenge is to slug only, no hooking. It was surprisingly way easier and way more fun than anticipated. So, how much of an a-hole am I? Or is it just how things go around here? Okay, so I don't necessarily think you're the a-hole, just because yes, it's a strategy. You're not being toxic. Okay, a lot of people will say you're toxic, and I just feel like that's just because that's just a really, really boring way to play. But I don't think you're toxic nor you're the a-hole, but you're taking the easy way out. And I always feel like I'm being like, oh my god, like as me, like as the perfect person. No. But I am just saying, when I'm playing killer, I don't like to hook camp or slug unless I have to. If I'm playing against a swift, I will slug and camp to get the edge. But more often than not, I don't camp hooks just because I feel like I'm being fed the win. It's context dependent. You know, if they're a swift and you kind of need to do that, fine. If they're a solo queue team and you're kind of stomping them, I'd feel bad. You know, I feel like it's like, I'm not really enjoying this as much as I should because it's already an easy game and I'm taking an even easier way to win. But that's just my thought process. I don't know. And I also think as a survivor main, I hate seeing killers tunnel and camp to the point where I don't do it myself. Kind of like, you know the ghoul, how I've been seeing a lot on Reddit and TikTok, people being like playing the nemesis just to give survivors a break from the ghoul kind of thing, right? Like, it's just like, as a survivor main, I empathize with other survivors, so I don't do what I hate. I don't think you are necessarily the a-hole, but it is kind of boring. Am I the a-hole for tunneling out hook sabo builds? I normally tunnel when a game necessitates it, like 2 hooks at 2 gens left, but otherwise, play chill enough, like won't give a free win typically, but not comp sweating. Flashlight saves, head-ons, teabagging is noted. Wait, I love that. But typically won't result me in camping / tunneling someone. I love how they mentally be like, that Sable, you teabag me? I won't forget that. My only exception is Sabo builds. I'm not good enough killer to overcome the time wasted by having my hooks denied, especially on maps like Borgo, Garden of Joy, Badham, etc. If people Sabo hooks in my games, I typically hard tunnel them afterwards. I've always assumed they've accepted the potential outcome before loading into a match with a Sabo build, but curious what this sub thinks. Yeah, no, I agree. I have a lot of different builds, right? I have my altruistic build, I have my chase build, I have my Sabo builds, I have my flashbang builds, and if I'm playing a Sabo build, I 100% expect and accept when the killer will start to slug, because I'm playing in a way that necessitates it, as this person said. You know, I play solo queue like 95% of the time, and when I'm solo queuing, Sabo builds aren't as effective, but still, you know, if I get a Sabo and they drop the other person, I don't get upset at all. Like, I'm right in your face, like, you know, I'm asking for it.
Are you gonna hit me?
Do you want it?
I don't want it.
Because you're asking for it. You're dying for it.
And also, like, if you're not doing this on a regular basis and you're just doing it when it's needed, I feel like that's exactly what you're supposed to do. You know, you have to be flexible with the flow of the game. If you're losing, if they have, you know, 4 gens done, you have 1 hook, I feel like tunneling / you know, slugging, honestly, even then it becomes reasonable, right? So yeah, I don't think you're the a-hole like in any aspect, and I think this is how most players should see the game as. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It's definitely a lot more podcasty style-esque, but I think my next video is going to be another round of confessions. So guys, join my Discord, shameless plug, because my next confession video is going to be like top tier. I just feel it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye y'all.